And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 20th round of the 9th season of the Bandit Racing League, presented by Full Send Racing Network. Tonight, we're on the dirt again for the second and final time this season from Eldora Speedway. Certainly a discipline that is, well, a favorite of some, and certainly a despised track type of others. It's not universally popular for everybody in the series, but it does produce some great racing, and we saw that earlier this season at Knoxville. But tonight, you may have seen from the sponsor, we're doing something a little bit different. Rather than a usual sponsor for a brand or for a particular driver, just shouting out, we wanted to do something a little bit different. And tonight is the Bill Harkins Dirt Track Tolerance 50. And certainly, I know Bill, like many drivers in this series, not the biggest fan of the dirt as a discipline or as a place to race, but we're so very happy to have Bill in our series and so grateful for everything he does that tonight David Lakey, tonight's race sponsor, driver the number 84, wanted to shout him out and give him some credit for all the great things he's done for the series. And really, none of us would be here doing what we do every week if it weren't for him. So we wanted to thank him, and here's just a couple clips, a couple drivers recorded to give their thoughts and give their thanks to Bill.
Hey, Bill. Man, I guess we're putting together a little thing of appreciating all you do for the league. Personally, man, you made Bandit Racing kind of a place that makes it really feel like home, man. You put a lot of effort, a lot of emotion into this league, and it definitely shows. And, I say this time and time that I always look forward to Wednesdays. Man, I just can't appreciate you enough for all you do for all of us. I mean, we all race in this league for free and we have a blast. Sometimes we get a little upset at each other, but it's all part of the racing game, man. And I just I can't appreciate you enough for all you do.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Where to start, Bill? Well, I guess we'll start where we started. Before Season 8, I was looking for a fun but competitive league to join. And I came across Bandit on Facebook, of all places, and talked to the guys, talked to you, and got a feel for it. And I remember you guys running a Richmond recruiting race. The first one I ran, and Nick was in there, Matt was in there, a bunch of guys, I think Brandon was in there. And it was by far, of all the leagues, all the races I've ran in other places, the cleanest and most competitive racing I've done on iRacing in the 4 years I've been doing this. And from there, the start of Season 8, I could tell that all the work you guys put in, it's I know it's not easy to do this, and especially do this nonprofit. It's really time consuming, and it takes a lot of effort, and you got to know what you're doing. And just that alone, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I mean, doing this every Wednesday is definitely something I really look forward to. My whole family looks forward to it. My friends, more and more people seem to be tuning into it every week, not only to watch me, but just to watch racing in general. And it's just awesome to bring everybody together in this form of I guess you call it racing, and for you guys to do that week in and week out, put in the time, put in the hours, I cannot thank you enough. I love it. I'm going to continue to do it as long as I can, and do my best to put on a good show and make you proud, Bill. At the end of the day, you're a hell of a guy. You're a stand-up guy. I love talking to you. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey, Bill, man, I just want to say thank you for all you do, man. It's been a hell of a ride. Not saying that it's over, but I am saying it's been fun so far. But just want to thank you for everything you do. You've been doing this league for almost 10, 12 seasons. You're getting up there, man. This season, you've been a league owner for so long that you're about to have a teenager as your league. That's kind of crazy. So just want to say thank you. Thank you for really just getting us out there, getting a lot of good guys in here, a lot of good racers, and a lot of good races. But just want to say, behind the scenes, you are the best. Very fun, but you're very strict to the point. You like to do things how they're supposed to be done. So with that being said, man, I hope we all have fun the rest of the season, and let's just have a great season. Thanks, Bill.
Hey, Bill. Welcome to the Bill Harkins Appreciation Race, the Bill Harkins Dirt Tolerance 100. I know how much you love dirt track racing, so it's only fitting that we run this race in your honor. It's really just a way for us to say thanks for all that you do for the league. We all appreciate it. I can probably speak for all the drivers. You go above and beyond, man, with everything that you do for the league. Even when we're not racing, when you're doing the merch, sponsorships, and you got a good group of guys together. And I really appreciate the time that you afford us one day a week to kind of, leave reality behind, hang out with the guys, and do some racing. So with that being said, we're going to run some dirt laps in honor of you, and hope you enjoy the race.
Hey, Bill. Thanks for everything. That's it.
So there you go, just something a little bit different, something kind of fun we did for Bill this week. And again, we appreciate so much everything he does for the series. I have opened something I was not supposed to, and now we are. There we go. We went into a bit of a freeze, but we are good. But yeah, we're so grateful for everything Bill does. Me, Evan, for giving us the lovely jobs we get to do for you guys every week, and Evan for last season, myself for this year, any of the drivers, any of the admins for assigning responsibility and just making this series what it is. Tonight is all for him, even if it's a discipline that again is not particularly up his wheelhouse. But tonight we are joined again by actually a three-man booth tonight. We got two special guests here in the broadcast booth side of things. So first of all, he returns tonight, kind of in a bit of a sickly state like I was a couple weeks ago, but we give absolute shout outs to Evan because he comes out and fights through it, and he's gonna give us another perspective tonight. So welcome back, Kevin. It's great to have you. First of all, just what are your thoughts on last week's race? I know I think you were watching Pocono and the week before that. So how round one ended, and how do you think round two is going to start tonight?
Yeah, I watched the end of the whole last race about a day or two after it was live. It was a lot of fun to watch. I had a great time watching it. Wish I could have been there live, but unfortunately had other things going on. But it was a really exciting finish. Obviously, a lot went on towards the end of that race, a lot that some of you probably don't even know about yet. But coming into Eldora, we've got a really fun race ahead of us. We don't have a bunch of people here tonight, but it's still going to be a really exciting race. We should have 2 heat races and then a 50-lap feature. It's going to be a quick night, but it's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. Yeah, the smallest field I think we've had all season. So no doubt due to Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and many are already off seeing family and are doing visits for that sort of thing. So many won't be here tonight. We're kind of at a half capacity field. So any of the playoff drivers that were able to make it tonight are definitely going to have a leg up on the rest of the field when it comes to points heading into the final round. But well, we'll see who can get the win tonight and who can take away that first spot from the final four if it is a playoff driver, because it could very well not be. But our third member in the booth tonight, you see that we're just going to put his face up over Evan's usual picture, but we've had him in the booth before. Actually, I think the last time we were on a dirt track, I think he was alongside of us. But it's great to have him back, Mr. Eddie Haggy. Welcome back in the booth. And I know you said you were running some laps this week. You got a little bit more experience, so you're going to be our driver's perspective tonight. But what are you expecting tonight at Eldora to start off the round?
Yeah, it's great to be with you guys, Marshall and Evan. I expect a pretty chaotic race, even with a small field, and chaotic's not to say a wreck fest by any means, but as a driver, one of the biggest things I think of week to week is momentum, right? So we went to the Tricky Triangle last week, had a heck of a race, a really hard fought race. I know I was sweaty by the end of it, and the thing about Pocono is nothing really that you did there is going to carry to this week. This week, it's a new playoff round for the top 8, the points reset, and we're doing a completely different style of racing. And it really, I don't think any one driver has a complete sort of, that they're head and shoulders over the field. So I really think anybody can win, and that's maybe the most exciting thing about today.
I completely agree, and that's what I think is so fun about this round, it being Eldora, Darlington, Myrtle Beach, 3 very, very different racetracks, and different guys are going to thrive each week. I know guys like Bret Guzik have been quick in the past. Nick was quick in practice. Tony's been quick in practice. Mark Allen Bivens. Guys like that, definitely guys you got to watch out for. We're just getting into qualifying now, but very quickly before we update you on your times as we get towards the very end of the 5-minute session and get ready for your first heat event of the night, there is your playoff bracket after Pocono last week. And just to give you a little bit of context, so we're not going to go into the full situation because it's a lot of admin behind the scenes technical stuff, and we don't want to get too much into it. But essentially, according to Bandit Racing League history books, Ricky Hart Jr. will be considered the winner of last week's event. Nick, due to some iRacing technicality penalties on his side, was given a black flag, and due to the precedent that's been set in the past in the series, we were forced to disqualify him from the event, and thus had to strip the win away. Brandon had a similar situation for another event. You guys may have seen some of the festivities that went on there, and certainly the penalties were very different for the drivers involved, but Brandon was stripped of the win as well, so he was second, thus he would have been gifted the win and theoretically a spot in the round of 8, but he was also disqualified from the win as well. So it then passed off to the third place finisher, Mr. Ricky Hart, and unfortunately we're not going to have time as of right now to show the race recap. We might momentarily, and then we'll go over his race that both Ricky and Brandon had, but if you guys watched last week, you'll know that Ricky certainly did not have the easiest night of anybody, so very impressive that he's still able to come away with the technical win again, even though he would have made it to the round of 8 regardless. But it's cool to see that he gets I think it's his third win of the season, picks one up regardless, and certainly a great comeback drive from him. With that, we are now in qualifying, just watching Cody Welch finish up what I believe is his second lap. And the thing about Eldora is, it's always good to have practice, whether you're done qualifying or not. So, guys are going to be trying to savor every lap they can. These guys are not dirt specialists by any means. I don't mean to discredit their abilities and how quick they are, but yeah, man, I don't think anybody here would say that this is their best discipline they could go to. So Cody Welch being up on the front row for qualifying, not going to be bad whatsoever. Should put him on the pole for the second heat, I would imagine. Kevin Foster, who has currently run the quickest time of the night, should be your pole sitter for heat 1. I believe it might be Kevin's first pole of the season. We don't usually see this much flat-out pace from him in qualifying, but he has gone to the top of the board for now. Then it's Bret Guzik, Matt Crockett, 3rd and 4th. Ricky Hart, last week's winner, in 5th. Brandon Jackson coming back, his first race since being eliminated last week. Let's see what he can do tonight with just a win on his mind. Doesn't need to go for points, so it's going to change the dynamic, I think. And certainly, Eddie, you unfortunately, a spirited drive all season. Just a great year for you overall, but we're unfortunately eliminated in the playoffs last week. So from your perspective as a driver, coming out of that round and your first race back as a non-playoff driver, how would your mindset change heading into Eldora tonight? Do you think you'd be a little bit more up for taking some risks to go for the win?
Absolutely. Well, it's gut-wrenching, right? To be eliminated from the playoffs. You work hard all year to be in that position, right? And then you think when you're a guy that's not winning every week, you think, hey, the points reset and you're in as good a position as anybody to succeed. And when those races don't go your way, the takeaway will be that you were running good and you were in a position to be competitive all season, right? To be in the playoffs in the first place, and maybe with a couple other risks taken that you wouldn't take, you can put yourself in position to win. And I know when I get back in the truck, that'll be my mindset, is we want to go out and win a race and make sure that we end the season strong. And I think those guys are going to be thinking that today.
Yeah, I couldn't put it any better. I think, that would be kind of my same mindset is still keep chugging away. Don't give up just because you're out of the playoffs. The season continues on, and we are all still here to race. This is not going to be your starting lineup for this first heat. That will be a little bit different, as Kevin Foster is your pole sitter. Actually, based on what I'm currently seeing, we are gridding for a heat, but everybody is currently in it. So I don't know. In terms of format, these dirt races can always be interesting. It looks like Kevin is on the pole, so I think we're going to do...
So it looks like what we're doing is we're not having 2 heats. We're just going to have 1 heat, and then this is going to set your lineup for the feature.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Evan. So yes, 10-lap heat race here is going to be your first and only heat of the night. Thus, Kevin Foster is your pole sitter, so we'll go through your starting lineup. But on the pole, on the inside of the front row, it is Kevin Foster, his first pole, I believe, this season. Alongside him, it's going to be Cody Welch in the second spot. Bret Guzik, who's been good at dirt in the past, on the inside of row 2. Matt Crockett, the outside of row 2. Brandon Jackson in 5th, and it'll be Nick Nickerson rolling off in 6th.
7th place is going to be Gary D. Moore in the 89 truck, followed by Nick Nickerson in the 2 in 8th. 9th position is going to be David Lakey, followed by Daniel Stein in the 87. In 11th place is going to be Sean Britt, followed by Cale Zook in 12th position.
Following him in 13 will be the 76 of Mark Allen Bivens. In 14th will be Jackson Knock. 15th will be Benny Hogan. 16th will be playoff driver Tony Hilbrands. 17th will be the 94 of Hunter Henry. And 18th will be series leader Bill Harkins.
Series leader indeed. Not in points to clarify, but in an alternate world, if it was a pure Super Speedway Series. I could definitely see that potentially being the case, but yes, he is the guy that puts it all together, and we love him for that. So yeah, sorry about the confusion there at the very beginning there. I was going off incorrect information, but we are ready to go. The pace truck on pit road. Let's go racing here at Eldora here under the lights in the dirt. Turn one, already 3 wide. Kevin Foster getting absolutely swamped into turn 1, and Cody Welch takes over the lead around the outside.
Yeah, huge move here. Cody Welch over the inside, and a big sin from the 99 of Brandon Jackson down there through the middle, and we're 4 wide coming onto the straightaway here. Matt Crockett up through the middle.
And second, Bret Guzik. Brandon Jackson, Action Jackson, huge slide job down the inside. Gets by Kevin Foster, who's just dropping spots as we speak. Remember, this heat determines the starting order for your feature race 50 laps, so any position you can gain or lose here is effectively just helping your chance at the win in the feature. Ricky Hart down the inside, last week's winner, trying it again. Daniel Stein making some progress as well. Multiple drivers proving quick here right off the bat.
We got a
Caution
yellow.
flag is going to be out.
Caution flag indeed. We're just going to take a brief moment here under the caution. We'll do a quick check just to see what it was. Tony Hilbrand's playoff driver, as you mentioned, Eddie, has gone around. This is turn number 3. Riding the inside, maybe thought about peeking underneath David Lakey. David just kind of slid down and got right into the front end of Tony there. That front right end, he sent him around pretty quick. So Tony was able to gather it up, get back up to speed, but yeah, first incident of the night for a guy who already qualified pretty far down in the order. So unfortunately, Tony's night is going to rely heavily on the feature races of right now, unless he can make up some ground here in the next couple laps. Important to mention here in the heat races, caution laps should not count towards the overall total. So the 7 to go should be permanent to the end, provided everything has been set correctly. But we're just going to take a brief moment because the sound from the sim is not coming through. So just 2 seconds and we'll be right back, and we'll have that fixed for you by the time the green flag flies. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're back after a brief stoppage there. You'll see the car audio is back up, so you'll hear the lovely sound of the trucks on the dirt. Just a heads up, and you'll see that things are getting a little bit glitchy on the left side of the timing tower. Here in the formatting we do when we make the caution laps not count towards the overall race total, well, it makes the timing tower glitch out because it doesn't realize where trucks are on track. So with that being said, we are good to go. We're going to go to one more pause because that is a very loud, very loud truck audio. So we are ready to go. 8 more laps left in the heat. We're just going to have to avoid that camera. But green flag, second green flag of the race. Cody Welch now your race leader. On the outside, riding the high bank. Brandon Jackson going with him. Bret Guzik's on the lower side. Further back, guys sliding out through turn number 2. Nick Nickerson side by side with teammate Kevin Foster. Cody comfortably up front for now. Kevin on the inside. Ricky towards the top line. He and Nick are getting through turn number 4 with some pace. There's Daniel Stein right on the back bumper of Cale Zook. Gave him a bit of a tap, actually gets him out of line. So Cale Zook sliding out. He's going to go back down at 7th, and Daniel Stein continues his forward charge. Matt Crockett giving him a bit of a push. Here's Mark Allen Bivens, who was quick in practice. So many drivers looking quick early, but up front, that front pack starting to pull away. Cody Welch looking quick.
Yeah, up front, Bret Guzik tried to pull the slide job on Brandon Jackson. Those guys just battling back and forth, really rearranging slide jobs as the caution flag is going to be out yet again. I believe Brandon Jackson got the 2nd place position, but it was close between the 99 and the 04 for who's going to be starting on the front row.
Yeah, I believe according to the scoring loops, Brandon Jackson will be scored as the driver in 2nd place, but let's see what went on there to bring out your 2nd caution of the heat race. Mark Allen Bivens involved, Hunter Henry involved, so a couple notable names here. So here is the perspective from Brandon Jackson and Bret Guzik. It said Mark Allen Bivens was the driver we were looking at, so don't know why it's showing it. There we go. So Mark Allen Bivens, the blue number 76 truck you see there on the inside, he slides up into the, I think that's the 98 of Sean Britt, who then gets into Jackson Knock. David Lakey right in the crossfire there as Mark Allen slides through. So unfortunately, a couple drivers tonight who were looking quick there off the start. A couple guys who just got eliminated last week from the playoffs, not having the start to the round of 8. They would have liked, at least not here in this first heat. So, but again, it's a long round. We got 3 full races here, and well, there's always potential to improve here. And really, Evan, we've seen in the past, thinking back to Knoxville, a couple of guys who not only are good at short tracks, but are good at the dirt discipline. Is there anybody overall tonight you think, based on what you've seen so far, based on guys that moved through early, or just what we know of guys this season, is there somebody you're watching out for tonight here at Eldora?
Well, before we came into the race, I would really be watching the 99 of Brandon Jackson and the 2 of Nick Nickerson. I know those guys are really big dirt racers. They're really good on the dirt. But the thing is, if I think about guys in our last dirt race, the 04 of Bret Guzik, he was one that was really strong. But one that's surprising me with how strong he's been so far is the 85 truck up front of Cody Welch. He's had a great race so far, and, I'm happy to see him up front doing a great job, but he's definitely not one of the guys that I would have expected to be leading the race and dominating the race so much so far. Now, we are quick into the race, so I guess it's tough to say dominating, but the pace truck is off, and we'll see if the 85 of Welch can continue his dominance for 5 more laps. He's going to lead us as they wave the green flag, and they are single file down into turn 1.
Yeah, just a heads up, if we get 2 back-to-back cautions in a heat race or the feature, we will go to single file starts the next start, so that is why everybody was single filed out there. Bret Guzik, huge send down the inside. Watch the 04 truck, big move there, and he will get the move done on Brandon Jackson if he can get the run off the corner. Nick Nickerson, series, well, not points leader anymore. Everybody's points are even for the round of 8, but former champion, 8 wins on the season, makes contact with Bret Guzik. We're 3 wide off of 2. Heading down to turn number 3, Nickerson on the inside. Guzik peeks underneath. He's going to look right to the bottom. The 04 truck liking that low line right now, but Cody Welch sailing off into the sunset. They made contact, the 2 and the 4. Third caution of the night. We're going to go to a green-white checkered here in the end of the first heat. Third caution of the 10-lap heat race. Nickerson and Guzik involved. The second time this season, actually, we've seen that exact pairing involved in a wreck. So those are 2 big names there, and certainly 2 guys we talked about in the past. I know, Eddie, you would have seen it firsthand on track. Not 2 guys that you particularly expect to get involved in a wreck, but here at Eldora, there's not much else he can do.
Well, this is huge complications for the rest of the race and even the round, as strange as that seems. Guys like Nick are not used to starting in the back of the field. They typically qualify really well. But with this heat format, at the end of the race, even if they do their quick repair here, they're likely going to finish outside the top 10, and they're going to start in the back for the feature, and that significantly increases their chances of a wreck. So you got to hope that they certainly avoid that.
Let's go back and get the replay there and just see what went wrong. We're going to be back to this point here. Now, Nick was already damaged, so just a lot of chaos there must have been. Here's the incident here. So the 2 truck of Nickerson you see on the bottom line there, coming off of turn number 4. There's Brandon Jackson up on the top side. So Brandon gives him the initial bump, just gives him a bit of a tap on the exit of the corner as he slid up in front, and that was all it took to get Nick loose. That turned him down into Bret, hooked him, and again, the chain reaction, as we often see here at these smaller ovals, kicked off from there. Let's just go back one more time and get a better look.
Looked like Brandon had the run, and Nick tried to slide in front.
Yeah, the slide job is going to be the go-to move tonight here at Eldora, and yeah, just a little bit aggressive there. I think early in the well, not early necessarily. I think it was just actually the angle he took for the corner. It wasn't even a passing move per se. It's tough to judge. Guys aren't used to the type of racing here where all of a sudden you'll see a truck slide up in front of you out of nowhere. Very few ovals in NASCAR to slide job maneuvers actually work pretty consistently. So yeah, but absolutely, to your point, Eddie, huge complications for the overall round. Guys like Nick and Bret, definitely guys we could have seen going for the title, but 2 laps to go. Quick cautions here at Eldora. 2 to go, though, to the end of the heat race. So remember, this is your qualifier for the feature. Cody Welch has been dominant from start to finish. Didn't lead the first lap, but he's led every lap since. Cody is going to try to sail off and finish it off in style. We will get the white flag this time, so the race will end under the next flag. Bret in second, Kevin in third. Some battles mid-pack. Betty Hogan now going to look underneath. That's Mark Allen Bivens there on the outside line. On the inside, it is Gary Moore Jr. Had a great race last week at Pocono, but coming to the finish line, dominant first heat for Cody Welch. He will be your pole sitter for the feature race. Cody Welch in the 85, your winner in our opening event here at Eldora.
Cody Welch winning the feature, or the heat race. Bret Guzik, the 04, in second, followed by Kevin Foster. Matt Crockett in fourth, and David Lakey, the 84, in fifth position. So if we're only having one feature, then those would have been the 5 moving on. But now we're going to head to our 5-minute warm-up before we have our 50-lap feature race here tonight at Eldora.
And that is not a bad thing because we have a few more driver shoutouts we got to do, guys. A couple more guys that had recorded stuff for Bill, but they weren't full videos, so we decided to play them a little bit separate. We'll actually do the first one here from a bit of a wider shot, just because he's not actually on the track. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it tonight in the flesh, or at least in the virtual sim track. But he is watching there on YouTube, and I know he's one of the guys that is away with some Thanksgiving plans. So we got a quick message here from Jason Greenwell, who wanted to say something to Bill as well, and a long-time driver in the series, and I really appreciate Jason coming out to do this. So here, just a quick message he had for our very own Bill Harkins.
Hey Bill, it's Jason Greenwell here. Just wanted to say thanks for everything that you do for us with the Bandit Racing League. I know, been running a couple seasons now, and it's a great group of guys. Couldn't do it without all the things you do. Down here with the family for Thanksgiving right now, so I won't be able to slide around and run into the walls with you, but we'll definitely be watching here at home. So thanks again. I'll catch you all next week.
Awesome, thank you to Jason for taking the time before the race to just sit down and give a few words to Bill. I know Bill is appreciated by genuinely everybody in this series. It's been a tough year from top to bottom. There's definitely been moments where some leadership has been absolutely needed, and it's not always the easiest thing to do. So we absolutely appreciate Bill for everything he does, and we've also got another message just in a moment. We just got to reset the time tower. It likes to pull the numbers down after the first event of the night. So there we go. We are all set to go. But we also have a message from Matt Crockett, who I believe is currently on track. So we'll pull up his camera. No, currently in the pits, but we will wait for him for just a moment. We do have another one actually from Christopher Ferrara, our very own, our guy that works on our Instagram. So he has a lot of relation to Bill there behind the scenes, was given that great opportunity to do what he does. And we're so grateful for Chris for everything he does and getting exposure for the series. If you guys haven't checked out the Instagram yet, definitely recommend you do so. There's all sorts of great stuff there. And again, you get information, you get stuff that's going to end up on the broadcast before it happens. So you're kind of, you have the pulse of the series in a way if you check the Instagram, and he's the guy who does it. So yeah, Chris just had a little message he wanted to send out to Bill as well.
Hey Bill, just want to say thank you for everything that you do and putting this all together. You give a lot of guys a great opportunity to come here on Wednesday nights and have a place to hang out and race. Can't thank you enough for everything that you do putting this show together and being the type of guy that you are, and always being there for when we have questions, whether it's about racing or about personal things. So thank you once again, and very grateful to have you.
There we go. Awesome. Thank you, Chris, for again just the same way taking the time and supporting the series. And unfortunate that he couldn't be here tonight, but we are so grateful that these guys were able to take the time and give a message to Bill, because again, we're so grateful for everything you do, Bill, when you watch this back. And yeah, genuinely, this series, my covering it, Evan and I being introduced to the series, any of us racing just wouldn't happen if it weren't for Bill. So we're so grateful for everything he does, and I know Eddie and Evan, surely you guys mirror that sentiment. Absolutely, indeed. The classic catchphrase, and yeah, it's just been such a fun season. We're now 20 races in, first race of the round of 8. I know it's something a little bit different, and certainly this 50-lap final heat race, very short lap, or final feature race, I should say, very short laps here at Eldora. So as you're going to see, it is going to go by quick, but it's going to be a fun race. I think it's going to be an action-packed 50 laps from start to finish, and we're going to punch a first driver into a round of 4. So I'm going to ask you guys here, while we just wait for the final lap of, the final couple laps of the warm-up to finish up. I'm going to go to you first, Eddie, but from your perspective, of all 8 drivers in the round of 8, and there are some extremely talented guys, really anybody in this round, to make it this far, you have to have a ton of talent. So, Eddie, if there's one guy you think is a safe lock, is a safe bet to bet on to make it into the round of 4, who's your pick, and do you think they can take away the win tonight at Eldora?
Oh, that's hard to say. I mean, we've gotten to the top 8, and I really can't look inside the top 8 and think about a driver that I don't think 100% deserves to be there and has a shot to make the final 4. We talk about Nick a lot on Twitter. He's a lock, I think, is the same as Cody. I tell you the truth, I really have to shout out Bret, especially today, watching him go around this track. I think Bret has a great chance to win today. I saw him make some really impressive moves and restarts in the heat, and he's a guy that I know. I certainly was watching some of his data in the last couple weeks, trying to get closer to the leaders. We use a virtual racing school technology to study analytics, and Bret's a guy that puts down a lot of practice laps in all our sessions, and he puts a lot of time into each week. And it's hard to think a guy like that wouldn't advance.
I think that's a stellar pick. Yeah, I think Bret, especially tonight, I think going in was probably the guy that I would have definitely given some strong consideration to, especially what he did back at Knoxville. Leading the most laps, and even if he didn't come away with the win after a kind of to mirror tonight, I think it was a last lap wreck with Nick that gave Aaron Smith his first and only win of the season. I think he's a guy to definitely watch out for, sitting on the front row alongside Cody Welch, who again did look quick. I'm actually going to go to you, Evan, now while we wait for the starting lineup here. Actually, we'll run you through your starting lineup here for the final feature race of the night very quickly, and then we'll get your thoughts. I believe it is 2 warm-up laps, so we will have the time, but let's get your starting lineup here for the final event. I don't particularly know what's going on here. We don't really have a final results per se. There we go. That should be accurate. So there are your final results from the heat race, but that'll be effective for tonight's starting lineup for the feature. So Cody Welch is going to be your pole sitter alongside Bret Guzik, Kevin Foster, and Matt Crockett, row 2. David Lakey alongside Mark Allen Bivens, who moved his way up through the field in 5th and 6th.
7th position is going to be Gary D. Moore, followed by Benny Hogan, Jackson Knock, Tony Hillbrands, Sean Britt, and Hunter Henry in 12th position.
In 13th will be likely regular season champion Nick Nickerson, followed by Ricky Hart Jr. in row 7. Row 8 will be Bill Harkins and Cale Zook, followed by Brandon Jackson, and Daniel Stein will round it out in 18th position.
And that is your field. Andrew Zook sits there in 19th. He did not run a single lap in the first heat, but he is not on track either. So no Andrew Zook. 18 trucks. This is the one for all the marbles. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you. I don't know if you know dirt racing. I don't know if you enjoy it, but I promise you are about to be in for a crazy 50 laps. And remember, the winner, if it's a playoff driver, punches their ticket to the round of 4. Let's get going. Cody Welch, Bret Guzik, your front row. Green flag here at Eldora for the Bill Harkins Dirt Track Appreciation 50. Presented by Full Send Racing Network. We're side by side through turn number 1. Bret Guzik already around the outside. Beautiful piece of driving. To the point goes the 04.
Great move from the 04, already leading this lap, but the 85, and we have trouble. Caution is going to be out. A playoff driver upside down.
Looking back, seeing a couple names involved there. Bill Harkins, unfortunately, involved right at the start of tonight's event. Tony Hillbrands, though, also caught in that wreck. A couple more drivers. Daniel Stein, considerable damage you see to the back of the number 87 truck. There he is, Daniel Stein. That truck has seen better days. First caution of the feature. This will count for laps, so we should be on lap 45 by the time we get back. But here is the replay. Going to the Full Send Racing replay, presented by Perfect Shine Auto Spa. Whoa, just a big send from Sean Britt there. Just didn't get the car wound up quite enough. Tony Hillbrands, as you said, Evan, on his side, almost rolling over, but managing to save it. Tony was a guy that felt good about the dirt coming into this week, but again, he's a guy who's had a lot of unfortunate luck in the past, and that was the definition of it. I just don't really think there was anything Tony was going to do there. Just got absolutely lambasted in the back of the truck by Sean Britt there, who, I mean, granted, you got to give credit to the 98. It is so tough to find an opening here at Eldora. Trucks running as close and tight as they do. Not really a great opportunity to pass unless you get a little bit aggressive like that. So we will go to a single file line here for the next restart, as we're going to do tonight after a caution, or if we have consecutive cautions. So the lights on the pace truck are off, and it will be on to pit road momentarily. But there we go. That's going to show you tonight what it's going to take. We saw some 3 wides there, and to find an opening, Eddie, as I know you probably know from your experience at dirt, it is not easy whatsoever.
It is not, and what I mentioned about Nick starting back there and the dangers of that, we saw that Daniel got caught up in that wreck on the outside, but it can be anybody.
It can indeed. Green flag, second one of the feature race. Bret Guzik now your leader. The 04, the 85, and the 8 your top 3. Kevin Foster, Matt Crockett, Mark Allen Bivens rounding off your top 5. Looking back further throughout the field, several battles developing as we speak. Nick Nickerson all the way back down in 9th. Uncharacteristic for him, but Benny Hogan, a guy who's been quick at the shorter tracks in the past. Don't be surprised if he's able to get the move done on the regular season champion. There goes David Lakey around. Second wreck of the feature race. Lakey involved. He hooked Gary Moore Jr. The 84 in the 89. Second caution of the race. And again, I think another similar situation, just 2 guys that were slided in pretty aggressively there into turn number 3, trying to get 2 or 3 trucks gone in one turn, and did not work out for the better.
Yeah, you know what do we say about cautions, Marshall?
They, I believe they breed cautions, if that's not mistaken. Yes, we've certainly seen plenty of that this season, and I'd imagine the dirt will be no different there. sliding through turn number 3. That was just a case of Gary Moore carrying a lot more speed than David Lakey was on the exit and just got under him. I don't think he thought he was going to slide up that much. Kind of David got onto the buffer there on that dirt wall on the outside and just, well, without much else he could do, David just got hooked and second of the race. I mean, again, that's going to be the case tonight at dirt. I know it's infuriating to have a wreck that doesn't feel like it's anybody's fault, but when you're running such quick laps, such a short track with the wall banking there on the dirt that kind of rides up and pushes up to make a wall the driver could ride against on the outside line, it means guys are just going so quick here at Eldora, and to get a move done and be completely cognizant of where you are at all times is borderline impossible. But we don't have a ton of time here, and certainly this is going to be the toughest one of the season, but we always have Evan do the track preview here, and we have a couple moments. I believe one more lap before we go green. So Evan, do you just want to walk us through a little bit of information about tonight's race at Eldora Speedway?
You know what? I would, but my voice is gone for one thing, and I can't exactly see that on my screen, Marshall, so you're going to have to walk it through us this week. Okay,
no worries. Yeah, thank you again, Evan, for stopping in, even if you're not feeling the greatest. But we'll walk you through it. The Big E, as it's known here at Eldora, opened in 1954, is owned by former NASCAR driver Tony Stewart, and dirt track driver in his own right. It is a mixture of clay and dirt is the track surface. It is a half-mile in length, tied for the shortest track of our season. It's only 50 laps tonight, so it's a 25-mile race. Bankings of 24 degrees in the turns. Fastest time is 17.674 seconds. Next week we're at Darlington. Green flag, Guzik and Welch into turn number 1. Welch on the high side, completely sideways, getting some momentum there. He's going to dive to the bottom of Bret Guzik under the low side. This is going to be the battle for the time being. Welch and Guzik looking quick tonight. Welch gets the move done on lap 1.
Yeah, battling all the way throughout the field. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
My bad, Evan. I was just gonna say Guzik's coming strong on that inside. It'll be a challenge today on the outside versus the inside, and who can get the run off the corner.
Yeah, we're even just seeing here off the restarts, the guy in second appears to be getting just a stellar run there. Both times we've gone off a green flag restart, we've seen the guy in second place make up the ground, take over the lead. Bret, huge slide job down to the inside. The 04 truck, can he get up in front of him? He can, but no, the 85 gets back underneath. Cody Welch back to the front. I go somewhere else, but I promise this is the battle to watch here for the win tonight. Cody Welch looking for win number 1 of the season. Bret Guzik, the guy who had the old streak of non-wins that he came so close to so many times. It's the old Bret Guzik and the new Bret Guzik battling it out for the lead here at Eldora. Back to the point goes Cody Welch. We're just going to keep an eye on this, but in the meantime, Matt Crockett running a season best 3rd right now, just looking really clean here at Eldora, running some quick times. But again, it's Cody back to the inside, just swapping back and forth every lap, not making contact, but Bret managing to hold more momentum there on the top side. Should keep it on the top side. Whoa, Cody has to check up not to hit him. So Cody gives up the lead. Bret Guzik in the 04, back to the point.
Yeah, a little bit further back, though, we've got some good battling. The 8 of Kevin Foster is going to be just on the inside of, I believe that's Jackson Knock. 76 of Bivens is up there as well, right in front of the 2 of Nick Nickerson. And these are some really big names battling here. The 64, Ricky R. Jr. is back there as well with the 99 of Brandon Jackson. And these guys are trading paint just about every single lap. The 2 sliding in there, diving just about every couple of laps, trying to make up any ground, but he really hasn't been able to get anything going so far.
Here's Nick on the bottom side here, trying to get a couple spots picked up. Remember, if he does not win a race in this round, the only way he makes the round of 4 is on points. And Kevin Foster is going to be another guy, his teammate at GFR Racing, a guy that could potentially do plenty of that. We're 3 wide off of turn number 4. Nick is going to lose out there. Bivens picks up a spot. Up to the top side goes the 98 of Sean Britt. Kevin almost hooks his teammate there, has to check up to avoid it. So Kevin Foster dropping back to the 8th spot. Qualified up in 3rd at the start of this heat. He is dropping spots rapidly.
And look at the hands as the drivers go around the corner, especially with 2 and 3 wide situations. Hands are going back and forth, and these cars are not stable on a track like this.
You know, you can see there actually pretty gradual movements there from Kevin Foster. I think it's paying off for him right now, but yeah, you got to have the hands moving, constantly steering, correcting back, left and right, because the truck is not going to go the way you expect it to on turn-in. So Kevin Foster not looking too bad right now, but a couple guys on the top side capitalized on him, and now suddenly he finds himself quite a ways back. Up front, further in the field, Bret Guzik, since that little tussle with Cody Welch, he has driven away. The 04 truck now almost he's over a second clear, 1.2 seconds clear for the lead. So, well, we're 20 laps in here, almost at the
Matt Crockett's going to have some trouble. Down to the inside.
Yes, indeed. Kurtwell was third a moment ago, was currently in the provisional podium spot. Last week was in the playoffs. Now he finds himself in fifth.
99 going around as well.
Action Jackson's looking backwards. The 99 truck might bring out your first caution of the race. Does not. There it goes. Caution comes out. 99 truck looking backwards. Action Jackson doesn't love dirt. Not one of his favorite disciplines, but he did finish in a runner-up spot here at Knoxville, so we thought there was potential, but we'll see what happened here. We'll see if the 99 just got, in Evan's words, turned him by another truck. Let's go to your Full Send Racing replay presented by Perfect Shine Auto Spa. So this is turn number 1 here. Slid right up to the back bumper of Ricky Hart. Got tapped by Jackson Knock, and I think that was the bump that really sent him around. The 00 actually just made side-by-side contact. Didn't really get in his quarter panel, but that was all it took to get the 99 squirrely and looking in the wrong direction.
Yeah, just a lack of real estate there. 3 trucks fit in a space that would hardly hold 2.
Yeah, really weird situation. It looked like they just made side-by-side contact, and if anything, the 99 would just slide up into the wall, but for some reason, iRacing's collision determined that it was about time to send him completely around, so not a ton of damage, though. Often that's the case at Eldora here. It's a track where you're running fairly low speeds overall compared to a lot of other tracks, so when you do make contact with something, typically not going to be a total loss, and you know, of any track on the entire calendar. Aerodynamics are least key here at Eldora, so they're getting doubled up, stacked up, ready to go, waiting for the pace truck to make the turn off onto pit road here. Just coming out of turn number 2 as we speak, so now halfway through in tonight's feature. Well, 2 laps till halfway, and we are 27 laps away from very quickly tonight crowning your first driver going through to the Championship 4. Is it going to be Guzik, Welch, Nickerson, Bivens, all in the top 4? Then it's Britt and Crockett on row 3. But green flag, third time in the feature race. Bret Guzik, your pole sitter, but again, keep an eye on Cody Welch. The guy in second's been quick on the last few restarts. Cody Welch making a little bit of contact with the outside wall. Nickerson already up to second, making the move on Mark Allen Bivens. You see it there from the wide shot. Nick is making up a little bit of ground. Cody has not dropped back at Guzik, but the caution comes out again almost immediately. You see there the pace truck back on pit, or back off of pit road. Let's see who that involved. Didn't even see a caution that time, but well, cautions breed cautions. That is often the case.
Cautions do breed cautions. I saw something happen in the back of the pack there. We'll see if we can get the Full Send Racing replay to try and figure it out. Yeah, it looks like some trouble 3 wide here. And a hard hit there for the 84. Oh, and a really hard hit for the 11 truck.
Yeah, Bill Harkins unfortunately involved in that. That one guy, I think tonight we were all hoping would have a better race than he was probably expecting here with the dirt. But let's get a replay there, because with so many trucks jostling around, I think it was Gary Moore that kind of, his contact off the top wall was what kind of inspired that whole thing and kicked everything off. Gonna watch it one more time, maybe gonna go from the perspective of the 89. Let's go to his side of things and see his view. So yeah, just made contact with the outside wall, I think, coming off of turn number 2. That bounced him down into Zook. Zook, I think, caught Henry, and just like that, caution number 3 of the race. And David Lakey, like you said, just got caught in the aftermath, really nowhere he was gonna go.
And Brandon Jackson just barely squeaking by on the top side after that accident there, and getting ready to restart here. We're going to be single file for the restart here with 24 laps to go after our 4th caution of the night. Bret Guzik and the 85 of Cody Welch going to be up front.
Yes, indeed. The 2 guys who have led every single lap of this race so far, the 04 and the 85, are looking formidable. But there he is, the man himself, the guy who won the opening round of the last round of the playoffs, Nick Nickerson. 8 wins on the season. Could it be 9? Lights of the pace truck back on. We're going to go one more lap around, so got a little bit more time left. We're going to very quickly go to Matt Crockett's perspective as we have one more lap, but we're going to go to his side. Actually, we're not. We don't have quite enough time. We're just going to go to Matt's message he made for Bill for the Bill Harkins Appreciation Night of sorts here at Eldora, but we don't have quite enough time, as again, cautions here at Eldora are darn quick. So very quickly, let's do it. 23 laps to go. Doubt it'll be green at the end, but you never know. Eddie, who's your pick tonight? Who's your pick for the win right now?
I'm staying with my guy, Brett. He looks pretty dominant so far. I think he's going to keep it up.
Evan?
I got to agree with that. I got to say the 04 of Bret Guzik really got to be pulling for him tonight, and he's off and away as the green flag flies. The 85 of Cody Welch is going to be right on his bumper, though, and the 2 of Nick Nickerson has snuck his way into 3rd place. Directly behind them, single file through the top 4, but we're seeing some moving and jostling back for 5th place. 10 of Matt Crockett up there on the top side. 64, Rickyard Jr. looking to the bottom.
You see in the rear cam here off the 04 truck, everybody sliding into the wall, everybody taking damage off the quarter panel. 85 truck, what a send in into turn number 1. Almost gets hooked by Nickerson. Somebody in the background's got a little bit wiggly and wavy. Might have been Ricky Hart, I think, is off the pace. Yeah, the 64 truck, damage to the outside, right to the bottom line. That is not the quickest place to be. So 64 truck just bleeding spots right now. Again, a playoff driver. You know he wants to rack up points as best he can, but Cody Welch, let's go on board with him for 1 lap. He is absolutely sending it into the turns here. He wants the win bad. He wants to be in the round of 4 nice and early.
Man, and look at the hands. Look how much Cody's really driving it in there to get the run off the corner and chase Bret.
Making a little bit of contact there, you see off the outside quarter panel of the truck. Nick still has yet to get by him at the moment, but he's going to need to settle it down a little bit. Here's the attempt from Nick. Going to go for the slide job right to the bottom. Will he slide up in front? He gets Cody for the time being, but the 85 should have the better run off the corner. He does. To the inside goes Welch.
Caution is going to be out.
Caution out indeed. So
Slide
Nick,
job at the perfect time.
he did, actually, you're right. Yeah, that was amazing timing there from Nick Nickerson, so he will be credited with 2nd. It's going to drop Ricky Hart, Cody Welch back to the inside of row number 2, but you know, earlier, Eddie, you talked about playoff implications. Here's some playoff implications for you. The 8 of Kevin Foster, playoff contender. He gets caught in this wreck here to bring up caution number 4. Let's see what went wrong here off a turn up. Whoa! Hello, Sean Britt. Holy cow, what happened to him? Sean Britt still 7th in scoring as we speak, so clearly he got out of the incident without too much damage, but the same cannot be said for Kevin Foster. So I think it was just Ricky. Ricky was considerably off the pace. I think he kind of got out of the groove there after something a couple laps prior. He made a hard correction off the outside wall, dropped the nose in on the 98, and just like that, the 98 slingshotting into Kevin Foster, and just like that, a playoff driver who I know was really going to look to rack up points this round, as many drivers are going to try to do. Well, that is not the way he wanted to start off this round, so Kevin Foster still a surprising amount of time here at Eldora. I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up a couple more spots if he takes a quick repair right now, but not what you want to see if you're a Kevin Foster fan, and certainly not having the luck that his GFR Racing teammate Nick Nickerson is, because as we get doubled up, stacked up, ready to go, the 2 truck is looking on the inside of the 04.
Yeah, 16 laps to go here. Once we go back green after our 5th caution of the night, like you said, the 2 and the 04 up front. The 04 are going to be starting on the outside lane, and the pace truck is going to be off. The green flag is flying, and the 04 Bret Guzik is going to lead us down into turn 1. The 2 is going to take the outside lane. The 85 of Cody Welch is going to jump down to the inside. It's going to be side by side with the 2 and the 85. 04 solidly in first position, and now single file through the top 4.
Yeah, big move from the 85 there. Tried it, did not work. Just didn't get the run off the corner he needed. But keep an eye here on Mark Allen Bivens, who's quietly been in the top 4 all day. Here is Nick Nickerson. Here's the slide job attempt again. Is it going to work again? No, it will not. The 04 truck, a much better run off the corner. So Nick getting side by side down off of turn number 2, but does not get the run that he needs for the time being. Tons of, whoa! Nick just rode the wall all the way around the corner. What is happening? Didn't even attempt to make the corner that time. I just sent it off the wall. The 2 truck looking banged up right now, but again he tries it. The 04 back in front. They're going to keep swapping spots like this, and the question is, as we have a wreck in behind, Matt Crockett's in it. The 10 truck upside down, rolling over. Parked on a wall. The 8 of Kevin Foster was in it again. I think Tony Hilbrand took some damage. Cautions breed cautions again. There is number 5. And I am so excited for this battle for the win. I think any in the top 4 can make it. But to do so, we got to make it to the finish, and to do that, well, we got to have some green flag laps. But here you go, full send racing replay, 5th wreck of the day. So this is off of turn number 2.
Looks like Crocky. Looked like Matt got a little squirrely. The back end was coming around, and he might have collected a few others in the process.
Yeah, I think we'll go to it one more time there, but yeah, I think it was pretty simple. Just, yeah, Tony sliding up a little bit there off the corner. Mark Allen Bivens kind of forcing Matt down a little bit. I think actually, yeah, Matt counter steered, I think, to avoid Mark Allen up top, dropped down a little bit, and just like that, Tony kind of had nowhere to go but to slide down into Matt. up into Matt, I should say, and Brandon Jackson involved as well in the aftermath. The 99 truck just not overall having the night I'm sure he was looking for. So back up to the front, I believe the lights on the pace truck are still on, and if they are, they are. So we're going to go to Matt Crockett very quick, and he had a message as well before the race, and Matt's kind of Bill's right-hand guy when it comes to running the series. He is the main admin guy alongside Bill, and they make a lot of the decisions together, plan the races out. So he definitely wanted to say something, and here's a message from Matt to our very own Bill Harkins for tonight. Just 2 seconds.
All right, this message is for Bill. Bill, appreciate everything you do for the league, everything you do for the broadcasting, everything you do for each and every driver, all of us, our families. We love you. Can't wait for next season. I am only put in this position because of you. So with that, I tip my hat from the bottom of my heart. We love you. My family loves you. And talk to you soon, bud.
Here we go, back to green here. 9 laps to go at Eldora. Bret Guzik, a great restart that last time by, but Nick is still right there. Nick slamming the outside wall there, just no remorse for that number 2 truck. Right to the inside again. He's gonna keep trying it. I don't know if it's the way to go. It's a bold strategy, but genuinely, I think his best chance might be to just try the high line, try to ride it out, because Bret again's gonna get to the inside. And as we come to 7 laps to go, the 04 truck still in control of tonight's event.
Yeah, the 85 of Cody Welch, though, sitting there in 3rd position, ready to capitalize on any mistakes. The 04 and the 2 have got together before at the end of a dirt race, knock on wood. So that guy in 3rd place could be in a really good spot.
Just had a quick freeze for a minute. We are back. We are good to go. Bret Guzik, Nick Nickerson, 6 laps to go this time by. Bret narrowly ahead of Nick, who slides again to the inside. Nick has 1 move, and he is going to make it work. Back in front. Almost got in front of him that time, actually did, but Bret, I think, checked up to avoid spinning him. So Bret giving a little bit of remorse there for the number 2 truck, but not a ton. Coming to 5 laps to go. Bret is just giving him nothing to work with. It's been a dominant drive so far for the 04 truck, and again, both of you guys talking about his dirt ability, say you thought he was going to be quick, and we have seen that from start to finish, but only actually, how many miles we got? 2.5 miles to go, I should say. Not much time left to go. The 04 truck just needs to hold him off for 8 more corners off of turn number 4. Almost to the end here, but again, Cody Welch in the background. We saw at Knoxville, the top 2 take each other out in the final lap. Could Cody's first win of the season come off a similar situation? Bret and Nick, they wrecked at Knoxville. The repeat here, 3 laps to go. Guzik, half a second clear. Nick still somewhat within slide job range, but it's getting late. He's gonna need to try something soon. Go your top 3 again. Guzik, Nickerson, Welch, all playoff drivers. Then it's Cale Zook who's moved up into 4th. Markel and Bivens there in 5th. 2 laps to go. Bret just needs to take it 8 more corners on 1 more mile, and he could become your first driver in the round of 4. Well, further back, we're seeing a little bit of action, and a caution comes out. We're going to have a green-white checkered finish, 1 mile dash here at Eldora. What a way to end the race.
And you know, Bret was just looking for that white flag. The last thing he wanted to see there was a yellow, because it puts Nick and Cody and even Cale back in the race.
Exactly. That's the last thing you wanted to see if you were Bret. He was comfortably up front there. I think he was also just out of slide job range at that moment too. So that was just Benny Hogan there getting a little bit loose. Hunter Henry giving them that final love tap to send him around. And again, if that had happened just even, gosh, like 20 seconds later, this race could be completely different. So I am so pumped. I don't know about you guys. Like, it's been a quick broadcast night. It's been a quick race. The way this has been set up has been, well, such that it's fast-paced action and something's always happening. But what do you guys think? Bret I think Bret's probably going to elect to take the outside line. He's been more comfortable there all race, and if he gets a better run, he should be more comfortable there. So it's going to be Bret on the outside. I think Nick on the inside, provided we do a double file start, which we should. Then Cody on the outside behind him. Cale on the inside of row number 2. Maybe not who's going to win, because I'd imagine Bret probably still the favorite right now. But Eddie, what, based on your experience, do you think this race is going to look like at the end? Double file start, Bret on the outside.
Well, I think what we've seen between, Nick is very committed to that inside slide job move. But if Nick does that move well enough and it works, say going into the first corner, right, out of 4 in a 2-lap restart, if he can get far enough on Bret, he can go in to the last corner on the outside, and that forces Bret to sort of go out of his comfort zone in the inside. And I think if Nick can position himself on the outside at the right time, race.
Well, he's just got to do something. He's got to try something different. 2 laps to go. Your finish in the Bill Harkins Dirt Track Appreciation 50 at Eldora Speedway. First round of the round of 8. Cody Welch, not a great start in terms of momentum, but he gets to the inside. He might try it on the 2 truck and Nickerson. Bret, a great jump. Only half a mile away when we come to the white flag. Through turn number 3. Still looking quick. Nick is in the wall, doing everything he can to extract pace out of that truck. Welch back up into 3rd, trying to hold off Cale Zook. White flag. 1 more lap to go. Bret's in the wall. Nick's in the wall. Just doing everything he can. Trying to get every last spot out of the 2 truck. 1 more corner to go. Bret Guzik, Nick, 1 final try there on the inside of the line. It will not work. Bret Guzik, your first driver in the round of 4 in season 9. He wins it at Eldora in the Bill Harkins Dirt Track Appreciation 100. Bret's 2nd win of the year in stellar fashion. What a drive by the 04. Just a dominant performance, as dominant as you'll ever see at a short track dirt track.
What a final restart, man. Just Nick, Cody, Bret, all these guys giving it everything they have for the win.
Well, there you go, Evan. You and Eddie were both correct there on that winner pick. Bret Guzik, indeed your winner at Eldora, narrowly holding off Nick. And, you know, Evan, I don't even know what it is at this point, but, you know, I never would have thought coming into tonight's race that the race win would be determined off of such a dominant drive. I don't know about you, but I was expecting chaos. I was expecting last-minute great timing for that final move like at a super speedway, but that was just a commanding drive.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was expecting it to be very chaotic as well, but turned out it was not like that at all. Bret Guzik, really, he took charge in the beginning. We even saw it wasn't even very chaotic in our heat race. Really, in the heat race, Cody Welch took charge. When we got to the feature here, Bret Guzik sort of did the same thing and just took charge and led the race. And I completely agree with you. That is not something I was expecting. We saw plenty of chaos, but it was behind our leader pretty much the whole race.
And these 2 guys here you see on your screen right now, they're the guys we got to give recognition to, because just what a stellar drive from both of them. Cody Welch, I know he won't come away with the win tonight, but did everything short of the win. He was looking quick in both of the that original heat, and he was giving him plenty of competition there in the feature. So Cody came darn close. Another podium. I think he's still the series leader at this point. Him and Nick might be tied, but just what a consistent season. Gets more points towards potentially being the driver to make it in on points into the round of 4. So Cody and Nick did everything they needed to tonight, but Bret Guzik, your first driver in the round of 4, he's going to do his victory donuts. And again, we can all 3 echo it, but very, very well deserved. He puts in the time, and to be quick here at a dirt track when that's not the background you come from, takes a ton of skill.
It absolutely does. And Marshall, I've spoken a lot to you about the difference between road racing and oval, and how, you know, sort of things you learn in oval racing don't always carry over to road. And dirt is a 3rd category yet. And lots of these playoff guys are guys that can run well at all 3 types of tracks, and I can't even put into words how impressive that is.
It's another one of those performances we almost expect from Bret now. You know, when you make a tier list of the series, you know, the guys that are going to come in each week in and week out, race up front, compete for wins. Nick's the first guy you think of, but honestly at this point in the season, number 2 for me might be Bret Guzik, and that is why he's pulling up to the podium right now. And he has got a spot in the final round. Let's go right to your first interview of the night with race winner, Mr. Bret Guzik. Let's pull him into the broadcast. Here we go. Hey, Bret, it's Marshall up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
We'll make it very quick, because you are on the podium as we speak. Bret, race winner, first driver in the round of 4, and it was a dominant performance. We know you were good at Knoxville. Almost got your first win of the season there. But just what is it you think you were doing there that nobody else could figure out tonight?
A lot of this track is just kind of maintaining momentum, and it kind of took me about 2 laps to kind of gather that up and start cooking off laps. We kept having those restarts there, and I believe Nick and Cody kept getting to me and basically throwing slide jobs and everything like that. So basically, if we didn't go more than 2 laps, then they had a shot to basically, you know, pull something off there. So really it was just trying to navigate the high line. It was kind of razor thin there for the last probably 20 laps, and we just kind of had to drive it in as straight as possible without plowing the wall down.
Now, no matter what Nick tried, because both Cody and Nick gave you plenty of opposition tonight, but Nick in particular there at the end trying all those slide jobs in the inside of turns 1 and 3. From your perspective as a driver, knowing that if he just sends it in, makes contact with you, and puts you around, you're completely out of the race, and not only out of contention for the win, but going to lose a huge chunk of points. So in your head, did it take some resilience there to just keep doing what you were doing? Because you kept with the line that worked, and that just seemed to shrug Nick off. So what, as a driver, is it like knowing that your faith or your ability to continue the race is in the hands of a guy trying to pass you?
Yeah, it was tough there for a little bit. You had to kind of keep your composure to make sure that you were kind of channeling enough momentum off the corner to get back by the guy. And that little bit of experience that I have on dirt kind of really paid off in that instance, where I'm kind of used to kind of flanking people on the track and trying to either defend or kind of navigate their slide jobs or that type of thing. So that kind of is where that experience really pays off.
Well, Bret, the elephant in the room now. You were the race winner at Eldora, the first round of the round of 8, and that means you are in the championship 4. So, last year it was a season in which I think you absolutely deserved to be there. I think with the season you had overall, you'd shown some great potential. It was just, in the end, didn't quite work out for you to make it there. But you get a second chance. Not only are you going to make it, but you're the first guy in. You get 2 weeks to practice, 2 weeks to prepare, and then you got to go off to Talladega and Charlotte. Do you think with those 2 tracks being a super speedway, a discipline that I don't believe you've won at in the past 2 seasons I've been here, but you've always been competitive, and then Charlotte, what do you think your chances now that you'll be there to go for the championship?
I think I have as good a chance as any of these guys that'll make it into the 4. I think that those couple tracks can be wild cards. We got to realize that it's not always that you have to win both of these races. You have to kind of finish in the podium on both of them, and that'll most likely put you in contention to win this championship. So if you win a race and you finish 3rd, I think that's what it's going to have to take to kind of win the thing.
Awesome. Well, Bret, it's so great to see that storyline early on in the season of for whatever it took. You got so many podiums, but just couldn't make it over the hump for the win. You got the win, and now you've as I just said a moment ago, kind of proven yourself as one of those S tier, those top of the series guys, and it's been so great. This has been that really incredible season that I was hoping for from you. So again, you add another feather to your cap. You got 2 more weeks to just go race for fun and get some practice there. But you know what to do here. First interview of the night. You've been here before, so you got some shout outs you want to give, any friends or family, any sponsors. And tonight's the Bill Harkins Appreciation Race. So if you want to say something for that as well, whatever you feel like.
Yeah, I just gotta thank everybody for watching on YouTube. Just thank my family for sticking behind me, watching all these races. I think they're watching tonight, and I'm actually gonna head to go see them tomorrow for Thanksgiving, so that'll be fun. And just like to thank Matt Crockett and obviously Bill Harkins. This is the Bill Harkins dirt tolerance race. Obviously, Bill is not a great fan of dirt racing, but he tolerates it enough to let us go do it, and that was what we put on tonight.
Well, and if he didn't, Bret, well, I definitely think you could have competed for the win as well, but certainly tonight it seemed like you had that dirt ability nobody else had, and it's what got you the first win tonight of the round of 8. Congratulations, Bret. It's great to see you. Get 2 weeks off, like I said, and we'll see you at Talladega for your first race again, competing for the championship.
Thanks, Marshall.
There you go. First interview of the night with race winner Bret Guzik. And again, just what a performance. And really, again, guys, I'll get your take. Actually, I'll get your take, Eddie, because you're somebody who's raced against him before. You raced earlier this season at Daytona. You've been to the mile and a halves. Do you think Bret is a guy that is going to thrive in that skill set? Somebody who's a little bit more patient, is very good at strategy. Do you think those are 2 tracks that are going to play to that sort of skill set?
I think so. I mean, I think Bret has consistently shown speed, and certainly all of the playoff drivers that have made it to the top 8 have had to do this. They've shown speed at the various types of tracks we've ran. I remember last year we ran Talladega in the Xfinity cars at Season 8, and I can remember, Bret qualified in front of me, and I was trying to make a pass, and I was super eager on lap 3, and I got shuffled to the back and, got caught up in a wreck, but Bret was patient and, he had a better finish. And then certainly at the mile and a half, Bret is always sort of on his own strategy, and I think along with having really good speed, that allows him to get those good finishes.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, he's kind of a fun driver. He's kind of a different driver from a couple of these other guys that we're going to see. I think his skill set lies in places that maybe for guys like Nick and Cody, not to say that they're not good in those disciplines, but I think he's very different in a lot of ways, and I think that'll make it an interesting commodity to try to figure out if you're one of those other playoff drivers come the final 2 rounds. So, well, very quickly, let me just get Mr. Nick Skype up, and we will go to your second interview of the night with, well, runner-up finisher, but I don't think he's going to be all too upset with that. Mr. Nick Nickerson, just a moment, and we will have him in the broadcast booth. Sorry, just 2 seconds. Oh, we're almost good. There he is. Let's just pull him in, and we are good to go. Hey, Nick, it's Marshall up at the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
How's it going, man?
Oh, it's not going too bad here, Nick. Nick, that was such a fun battle to watch. You know, we're going to be okay with you getting podiums if you're going to make it that exciting for us, because you were trying everything, man. It was slide job after slide job, lap after lap. I've never seen that sort of aggression from you. Just what sort of side were we seeing from you, and what was the desperation you were feeling there lap after lap, getting towards the finish?
I mean, I was just trying to. So I had this plan, like by the time I got to the front, because obviously I had a little mishap in my heat that put me 16th starting for this feature, so I had a long road ahead of me to get back up to the front. And when I was there, the track was already kind of used up. You just can't make a pass on the bottom line if somebody's ripping the top. It's just impossible. So I was trying to slide job Bret and then get enough speed to where I could be side to side on the backstretch, and then I was going to dive down when he went to go slide job back with me. So hopefully we're side to side, and eventually I would be able to get in front. But man, like I slapped the wall just way too many times. There was a point when I just lost all power. I think it was like maybe 5 to go. So that was kind of the end of my run. Really knocked the front end out, I think. But all in all, man, that was fun. I mean, driving from the back to the front, can't beat it. And second place, hell yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what you need for your championship, picking up points for the for the round of 4. But overall, you know, we had the race at Knoxville, so you have a little bit of dirt experience. I don't know, first of all, because you've proven it so many disciplines, you know what you're doing. But first of all, just tell us a little bit about your dirt background, and then what were you able to take away from Knoxville into tonight, if anything, about the race?
Yeah, I mean, dirt racing's pretty much the only racing we have here in Arizona, so kind of grew up around that whole scene. I haven't really partaken too much dirt racing and iRacing, only because it's just not quite what I think is realistic in certain aspects, like how the cars handle, like in the slick. It doesn't seem right. It seems like just way too slippery. When, like, you know, in real life, you'll see guys like they'll almost put down like asphalt, you know, like black strip around, and they'll just ride around on the slick. You just can't do that in iRacing. So kind of fell apart from it. But other than that, I mean, you know, all I really got to do is be at least the same speed as the fastest guys in the league, and that's what I kind of try to aim for within practice, because it's so hard to practice for these races because the track just changes so much. You know, like you just can't practice. You just kind of have to. The only practice you get is actually racing. So we had Knoxville earlier this year, and it definitely learned a lot about how you can race some of these other guys. It's just such a vastly different track, though. I mean, that one in Knoxville, you can just send it off in the corner for a good old slide job, and you just kind of wait for it to hook up. And this one, man, you can sail it off, and you'll still end up in the wall. It just kind of sucks. And plus, Knoxville, you had the top and bottom lane to choose from. This one, really all you had is a top lane. And yeah, man, I'm glad the whole dirt thing's over, because it's kind of frustrating, but it's definitely fun. But yeah, let's get back to asphalt.
Yeah, I bet you're hoping for it. But to pick up as many points as you did tonight here on dirt is certainly going to help again towards your championship progress. And I'm just curious to ask, because Bret, you know, getting the win there, picking it up at Eldora, being the first guy there in the final 4, is that a name that you're feeling worried to see, or what sort of driver do you think you're going to expect from Bret in the final 2 races going for the championship?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think much is going to change. He's as long as he can not get caught up in somebody else's business, because he like kind of has a tendency to do that, and he'll be just fine, and he'll definitely be worrisome, especially for if something bad happens to me for Talladega and I have to like win, you know, Charlotte. It's going to be a little bit of pressure at that point.
No doubt. The format this year is brutal. So I wish you the very best of luck there. First of all, making the round of it before, but tonight you definitely did everything you had to. And we'll see what we can do in those 2 races. But yeah, Darlington next week, Myrtle Beach to round it off. I know Myrtle Beach is a crazy race, but Darlington's a driver's racetrack, and those seem to suit you in the past. You excited for the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, I love Darlington, man. It's it can bite you if you drive it in too deep in a corner, or you kind of like lose your focus. But like I was saying before, there's driving Darlington, and then there's like taking full advantage of Darlington, and those that can take full advantage of it, of just being like on the razor thin edge of round 1 and 2. I mean, they're just gonna sail away from the competition. So I'm looking forward to seeing who can get that, and I think it's gonna be a great race. Big time tire wear, so those that know how to conserve tires, I think will kind of show at this track. Yeah, man, looking forward to it.
As are we, and yeah, you've proven in the past that you have what it takes. Even tonight, you proved you have what it takes to take risks and really run not even close to the wall. You didn't do a ton of that, but you definitely had the riskier line tonight at Eldora. So congratulations, 2nd place, and again, all too well what we do now. I don't even really need to intro it, but tonight is the Bill Harkins race, so I really appreciate you doing that clip for us before the race, and hopefully Bill is going to enjoy that. But yeah, whatever you want to say, sponsors, shoutouts, family, you know the deal.
Yeah, man. First off, congrats to Bret, man. He did just an awesome job. All kind of expected that. He just didn't make it easy one bit. And everybody that participates in this league, man. I know not everybody got to show up tonight because of Thanksgiving, and it kind of sucks. We'll definitely have to think about that come that following seasons to make sure we have like those big holidays off. But got to thank Big Red for Pain sponsoring GFR, TechNet, Perfect Shine Auto Spa. I think everybody that participates in this league, I forgot if I said that or not. It's everybody watching at home. I don't know how many viewers we got today, but hopefully there's a few of them there. And I got to appreciate you guys with the broadcast, man.
No, more than happy to, and I really appreciate you filming the clip for us and giving a shout out to Bill. I know hopefully he enjoys it looking back, and certainly tonight's race, you and Bret were giving us plenty to watch and plenty to keep it entertaining. So thank you, Nick.
How was my blinking? Was it any better?
It was better. Better certainly. Yeah, we were able to stay on you. We still have some mysterious tech issue that it isn't frame rate and it's not bit rate, so I don't know what it is, but it wasn't your situation tonight, and the only difference is you currently look like a ghost on Skype. So it's one step forward, one step back, but it's really funny and I appreciate it. Jeez. So
you think they'd figure this stuff out by now? Just kidding.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. Best of luck. You know the deal. The next 2 weeks, go out there and try to make the round of 4.
Hell yeah, man. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you. See ya. There we go. Your second interview of the night. Guy we talk to all the time, but, well, for a change, we're not talking to him first. It's Nick Nickerson. Still just an absolutely incredible drive tonight. And, Eddie, again, from a driver's perspective, Nick, is there anybody you'd be more scared of running in a 2-race dash for a championship than him?
Yeah, I mean, sort of what Nick said really stood out to me. You want to find the speed. If you can just kind of stay with the speed of the fastest guys in our league, you'll be okay. And he said that in a really casual way. He doesn't. It's humble. It's very difficult to do that. People spend hours and hours and hundreds of laps at each week trying to do that. And what Nick and Brad and the others are able to do, it's very impressive. And there's a reason not everybody can do it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think to that point, another guy that I think is absolutely in that top echelon and can rattle it off with the best of them, Mr. Cody Welch, your final finisher tonight. Another guy who had a really nice pre-race message for Bill. He is your third place finisher tonight, and let's get him in the broadcast booth. Hey, Cody, it's Marshall from the broadcast. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
Cody, welcome. It was a spirited fight from you tonight, man. That was another one of those great Cody Welch drives, and you and Bret were just slugging it out there at the beginning. Just talk us through your strategy coming out of the heat race. What did you kind of change up in the feature, and just what was it tonight that you couldn't quite find a way to get it done?
The biggest thing for me, not being able to get it done, was not knowing how to drive 3 and 4 in the slick. I could not keep it out of the wall to save my life. So it, kind of messed up my chances for the win there. But it was fun, battling with Bret there for a while. And, I finally get to say now we're, week 18 or 20 into the season, I won my first race. So I'm happy about that. All in all, I'm, happy to finish in the top 3 and put myself in a good spot going into next week. But I am sure glad that dirt is over for the season. Going into this race, it was tough. I'm not much of a dirt guy, and I know Bret is, and Nick obviously always good. So after I got the pole, or I guess second qualifying, and got up front in the heat race, my strategy was just to try to stay up front. But I knew as soon as the track slicked off that Bret and Nick would be gunning for me. So it just didn't work out in my favor. But like I said, just happy to be in the top 3.
Well, I first of all got to apologize because I totally missed out on that. Yeah, tonight, first win of the season there in the opening feature, and you had to, or the opening heat, you had to earn it for sure. So we'll qualify it as a pole and a win there. But yeah, first win of the season there, I guess. And well, if I'm being honest, Cody, with what 4 races left to go in the season, I'm still expecting that final points win that counts on the timing sheet. Because man, again, another great drive from you tonight, just racking up the podiums this season. I'm going to ask about the rest of the round in the future, because you pick up 3rd place tonight, you got a good chunk of points, and now becomes the question: if you think Nick has a decent chance to pick up a win somewhere, does the mindset become, okay, now I'm the top guy in points? Are you going to try to compete for that win at Darlington? Do you think Darlington's a good shot? Do you think Myrtle Beach is a good shot? Or do you think the better plan is to kind of take more of a Kevin Foster, Mark Allen Bibbins style approach to the season, just rack up points to get to the round of 4?
Well, either way I go about it, obviously I want to win. I'm wanting to win all season, and I'm actually pretty surprised it hasn't happened yet. I had a lot of chances, but the biggest thing for me is just not making any mistakes going for a win or even going for a top 5, and ended up taking myself out and finishing 10th or 15th. That's definitely, because I know it's going to come down to the wire here, 2 races, and the competition is so tight this season that it's anybody's championship at this point. And whoever I think whoever can stay consistent and knock off the top 3, top 5 finishes for the rest of the season will be in really good shape. And that's kind of my game plan. Just stay up front with the fast guys. If I can get a win, great. If not, hopefully be there on points at the end.
Let me give you a hypothetical scenario here for the round of 4, because you, Bret, and Nick tonight were just on a whole nother level. You guys were so impressively quick. You guys have been the consistent top 3, I think, overall, potentially all season. So from your perspective, let's say Nick and Bret make the round of 4 alongside yourself. Who in the series of anybody that could be that 4th driver would you be most worried about racing for a championship?
Not Nick and Bret.
Yep, it's the 4th guy.
4th guy. I would have to say Ricky Hart, man. He's right up there with us. I know, he's been right up there with us. He's gotten caught up in other people's stuff a little bit over the season, but he's definitely got the speed. He's a past champion. He knows how to get it done. So that'd be probably the guy that I would be worried about, that 4th guy. So yeah, I think if I'm making predictions here, knock on wood, this is all steel, but knock on wood, me, Bret, Nick, and Ricky, I think will be the top 4.
I gotta be honest, I feel like that wouldn't surprise a large majority of the people watching at home, but you never know. That's the beauty of this series and the championship format. Anybody could win anywhere. We could see a crazy winner at Myrtle Beach, and just like that, we'll have something a little bit different. But yeah, I think there's a great shot there. But if it is that 4, knowing it's Talladega and Charlotte, I like your chances as well as anybody. Thinking of a super speedway and then going to Charlotte, which is going to be one of the most competitive intermediate tracks on the schedule. Again, do you think those 2 tracks, provided you make the round of 4, do you think you got a good shot at the title like a lot of people seem to think you do?
I think it's all going to come down to how Talladega pans out. It could be the last lap and I'm leading the thing and get turned. You just never know. That's the beauty of super speedway racing. So Charlotte, I mean, like you said, everyone's good at Charlotte. Everybody runs Charlotte all the time. So I have to say I'm a little upset that the second to last race in the championship Final 4 is Talladega, but it is what it is. It makes things exciting for everybody that watches at home. So definitely looking forward to it.
Oh, it sure does. We'll be on the edge of our seats for that one, I guarantee it. And you got plenty of people watching you, so I'm sure that'll. If there's any race this season to win, the first one of the round of 4 in a super speedway might be the one to do it. But, well, you know the deal, Cody. You've been in the podium spots. I think this has got to be getting up towards 15 or something this season. Just what a year it's been for you. But you know the deal. Anybody at home you want to shout out? As always, you got plenty of support here on the YouTube side of things, but also sponsors. And it's the Bill Appreciation Race. I really appreciate you doing that video before. But if there's anything else you want to say, now's your time.
Yeah, definitely thanks to Bill. Thanks for putting the time in, putting the work in, and making this such a great league. I love doing it every Wednesday. You guys up at the broadcast booth do an amazing job putting the show on. Everybody that watches, we really, as drivers, really appreciate it, and it makes us all really look forward to watching the broadcast and just competing every Wednesday. It's awesome. Thank my family, my girlfriend, everyone, and MF Racing Designs for putting my paint scheme together for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Cody. Again, it's one of the best looking in the series, and I think since you adopted it, I think you haven't finished on the podium exactly once. So, again, what a season it's been for you. Pick up a good chunk of points heading to the round of 4, and we know you'll give it hell. So best of luck, Cody. We'll see you next week at Darlington, and just see what you can do for us. Try to make the round of 4 then.
Thanks, man. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, you too. And there you go. Our interview with Mr. Cody Welch, your third finisher of the night, comes home in the 3rd spot. And now I believe we have a special guest appearance here in the broadcast booth. I don't know if he's available, but definitely a guy that we'd love to talk to tonight, considering the theme overall, and we're always happy to talk to him. We got you, Bill. Are you on headset there?
Yeah, I'm here, guys.
Hey, Bill. How's it going?
He definitely pulled one over on me. Nice job. Fitting. Very touching. Not fitting. Very touching. And I'll admit that I actually cried. So, yeah, was not anticipating that whatsoever. Dirt tracks and me, yeah, I wouldn't have them in the United States if I couldn't have them in the United States. You can have them all up in Canada.
Yeah, no, we won't take them up here, I promise you. It's not our thing.
I see, so we went with 3 in the booth tonight. Nice job.
Yeah.
Nice
We
job.
did.
Eddie, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to just hop in and say, thank you guys. That was very touching and well well received on my end. So appreciate it. Appreciate everything you guys have done also. So.
No, you're more than welcome, Bill. Again, it was David's idea first and foremost. He wanted to sponsor tonight, and it was his idea to make it a whole kind of secret thing, and have all have the other logo and on all the other info for the week. So it was a really cool thing he did, and I really appreciate it. But just personally from my side of things, I wouldn't do what I do every week and what I love doing, and what is definitely getting me through school right now is having this series to look forward to. And not only would I not be involved in the series and involved with Evan, but wouldn't have this series to look forward to at all. I just love watching these races, and you've brought such a great community together. I know it's been a tough season, hasn't gone smoothly all the way through, but you've got through it. We've made it work, and I'm so happy with where the series is now. I can't wait for Darlington next week, and if it weren't for you, Bill, it wouldn't happen. So from the bottom of my heart, sincerely thank you for everything you've done for me and for everything you've done for the series.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this. So this will tell you how far off I really didn't know. So I have a brand new computer sitting next to me that I have to get, set up and everything. So on my current computer, when I went to triples, I can't see YouTube anymore. So I can't listen to the broadcast while I'm out on track. So I had no concept that this was going on. And then I got a text message, and it was from one of my guys that used to work on my race crew when I raced actually. And he said, I'm pissing my pants over the name of the race. And I'm thinking, you're laughing over Down and Dirty? How many beers have you had tonight? So I had no clue. But I had already been signing in at that moment to YouTube. And I caught it. I seen the name and I thought, oh, well, that's nice. Thanks, guys. But I wasn't expecting the interview side of things. So, yeah, you're right. It's been so we've had a lot of seasons of firsts this year here in the league for numerous different reasons, and I wouldn't change it because it's all character building and making us stronger and making it more entertaining also in some areas. So that's all I got for you guys tonight. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. Hope to see you up there in that booth more often.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah. All right, good night, guys, and happy holidays. And do you guys do Thanksgiving? Wait, do you do Thanksgiving in Canada?
Oh, we did it 2 months ago. Yeah, ours is in it's in September.
What do they call it?
Just Thanksgiving.
Oh, they call it Thanksgiving.
We do.
Maybe like thank the Mountie or something like that.
I like that. I wouldn't mind honestly changing it, but no, all the Americans have been ragging on me all week, going, "Oh, the food's so much better up here in America or down here in America." I know, I am well aware. I still think it's too close. I think American Thanksgiving is too close to Christmas, if you want my opinion. But yeah.
How about moose giving?
Like that. We can incorporate them. Like September is just the start of moose season. You start seeing them like rats in the sewers. So.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Good night, gentlemen.
Awesome.
I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Awesome.
One thing I have to say about that is, a lot of us drivers, we run in multiple leagues, and not just this one, but I can say from my experience, certainly in a few different leagues, we've said it before that the Bandit Racing League is like a family, and I think that starts with the culture that Bill has brought.
Absolutely.
And continued to maintain. He works so hard. He thinks about this league. He spends much of the week, focusing his time on this league and making these things happen. These practice sessions, these race sessions, all the behind the scenes stuff. The Bandit Racing League swag, and then certainly this broadcast with you and Evan. And I could not be more grateful. And what Cody said, we all look forward to this, and there's a reason this league is special. And I just don't think there's a NASCAR product in iRacing leagues that comes close to this.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It's my not 2 full years, but 2 seasons in this series blew my mind. I came in from a road course background in terms of both broadcasting and most of my racing career, and I came in, but I had the idea, that I knew NASCAR was a fun community, so many fun personalities, and it was such a fun series at its best. But I didn't know coming in whether that's what I was signing up for, and it absolutely was. I have loved this series from start to finish, and certainly Evan, I'll throw it to you as well, because you were the guy that you were the guy that kind of searched out for me. You were the guy that recruited me all the way back there through Facebook at the beginning of this year, and since then, like seeing how far we've come as a series. But I know Bill kind of gave us both of our shots in the series, and I don't know about well, I'm sure I know about you, but I personally am so thankful for the opportunity he gave us.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I'm very thankful for Bill giving me an opportunity at all. When I reached out to him, a long time ago when I did my first broadcast, I had never broadcasted a series. I'd broadcasted one race, and honestly, to tell you the truth, looking back on it, it was terrible. And so was the whole first season that I did with the Bandit Racing League. It was really bad. I don't know why anyone watched it, but I worked with Bill. Bill worked with me, and we both got better. We both did things to make it better, and now the broadcasts are only continuing to get better with you here, Marshall. And so, yeah, it's really just a big thank you to Bill. He does so much for the series behind the scenes that you guys don't even know about, and just really appreciative for even being able to be here and commentate, but before that, even giving us the chance to do this at all.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think definitely, personally, in terms of making it bigger and better, we got to figure out whatever tech issue has been happening the last couple of weeks that's been making things choppy. But once we get there, genuinely, I think the end of the season will be our best streak in a while. And I think we'll incorporate this into a thank you Evan session as well, because we're going to kind of do a wrap up here and head off. It's been a quick race, so we'll make sure you guys get home pretty quick, or hopefully you are at home, or it's really cool if you watch this on the go or somewhere else. But we'll let you have the rest of your evening. But I want to thank you, Evan, not only for tonight, for fighting through the illness. I know I had it a couple weeks ago, that similar cough sore throat combo for quite a while that you were talking about. So I sincerely hope you feel better. I know you're already starting to get on the mend, but thank you for subbing in tonight and for fighting through it, and yeah, for not only giving me the opportunity all the way back at the start of the year, but for subbing in every once in a while for us. And again, for all the graphics, Evan Wall Media, everybody, it's always in the description. Go check out his stuff if you're a driver, anybody in the series, you want a new paint scheme. Brandon Jackson's scheme, which is stellar, both his number and his car, one of my favorites in the series. If you want some work as quality as that, Evan's the place to go. But thank you, Evan, and thanks for subbing in for us tonight.
Yeah, happy to be here.
And then to the other man as well, making his second appearance here in the broadcast booth, made it back tonight. We're so glad to have you, Eddie. Hopefully you can continue to help us out in the future, because you're such a great driver's perspective. You proved this season why you're a guy we should listen to when it comes to driver info. Making the playoffs, being an absolute force to be reckoned with. You were looking great there all the way throughout the year. So thank you for subbing in for us tonight, and hopefully we'll see you back in the next couple weeks.
Absolutely, Marshall. Thanks for having me on. It's always a really fun broadcast with you guys.
Awesome. And with that, we're going to go into the final thing that, we had a lot of stuff to get through with the intro, but we really have to shout it out, especially because it's Bill Appreciation Night tonight, and he puts so much into this, adding so much new stuff. It's the Bandit merch here. So again, we're going to go through the webpage. If you haven't seen it before, it's constantly changing. I filmed this a week ago, and I guarantee since then it has changed once again. New stuff has for sure been added. So if you want to go check it out, if you want swag for your favorite driver, Kevin Foster's got some, Nick Nickerson's got some. But if you want some general Bandit stuff, we got a new roster shirt we just introduced. I believe this might be it here. Once this page loads, there you go. It's the new roster shirt. So any driver that has raced in the Bandit Racing League full-time this season is on the back of that shirt. It comes in a variety of different colors. Cost is made almost identical to what it costs to make. So we keep costs low. We just want you guys to have some cool stuff to wrap the series with. And again, Bill makes everything himself. And we sincerely appreciate everything he does. One of, I think, the coolest things that sets this league apart. So if you want to go check out stuff like that, well, that's the place to do it. The link is, as always, in the description down below. BanditRacingLeague.com for anything Bandit Racing League related, but particularly /Bandit swag is where you go. So thank you, Bill, for everything you do. And thank you again, both Eddie and Evan, for helping us out tonight and for making tonight's race more fun and a little bit different. Thank you, everybody at home, as always, for watching. Again, that weird tech issue we've been having, it's getting annoying with the choppy frame rate. We'll get it fixed for next week, as we always do. I've got a little bit more time this week to plug away at it, and thought we got it fixed tonight. It looked better in some aspects, I'm sure, but it didn't fix it in others. So we'll get that figured out for you next week at Darlington. But for the time being, thank you, as always, for watching, everybody. Congratulations to Bret Guzik on being the first guy moving through. And again, thank you, Bill, for everything you do for the series and for tolerating the dirt tonight for our final dirt race of the season. So with that, we'll head off. Here's your schedule for the next couple weeks, or your final 4 rounds of the season. Darlington next week, Myrtle Beach on the 8th, Talladega and Charlotte on the 15th and 22nd to round off the season in Season 9 of the Bandit Racing League. With that, I have been your host here for Full Send Racing Network, Marshall Crocker Jr. Have a great rest of your week, have a great rest of your night, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Absolutely.